Good afternoon. I am Jenna, and I am here today to do a reading. Been feeling pretty called to do a reading for someone lately, and no one has reached out. So I'm going to come here on YouTube and post it and trust that it will get to the right person in the right time. Okay. So I'd like to say a prayer that the messages that come through this evening are empowering for the people's paths who watch this video and support their evolution, health, well-being, and ability to propel forward in ways that support them in their journey. So let's start with the New Orleans Oracle deck. Okay. One of these cards came out when I was shuffling earlier. Also, first one is Patience. With 3 rabbits, which is interesting. I don't necessarily associate rabbits with patience. Speak your truth. And flow. Okay. So let me put the camera down so that you can see the cards a little better. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead and clarify these cards with some tarot. I've already shuffled all these decks. This deck is the Madhouse Tarot by Eugene Vinitsky. All right, so let's clarify patience, please. Where are we asked to cultivate patience? What's going on regarding patience? Okay. Queen of Swords, Temperance in reverse, and Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So Queen of Swords here. And then Temperance and Wheel of Fortune in reverse, both of them. So with these coming out in reverse, like the wheel isn't turning as it could be, and the flow isn't happening as it could be. That's why they were in reverse. And so, and then actually this the Queen of Swords represents truth. So I think these two cards here are related, patience and speaking your truth. What I am seeing is that what I'm getting is that we need to give ourselves grace. So this tree did not grow overnight. In fact, with the the moss, and this is the New Orleans Oracle deck, these trees can be very, very big and old. And so it's okay if you haven't been speaking your truth, or if you've been slowly, getting to the place where your throat chakra is more open, and aligned with the rest of your body. So be patient, be gentle with yourself, but also know that, until you can get to this point more, actually, I think these 3 cards clarified all 3 of the oracle cards, because Temperance is about flow. The Queen of Swords is about truth. And then the Wheel of Fortune is in reverse, is saying that there's been a delay, which is okay. Patience with ourselves in this. But yeah, it's like, this is the goal. Speaking truth is the goal. And there's a blockage. There's something. Let's clarify that. What is the blockage? Why is Temperance in reverse? And why is Temperance in reverse? There's 2 ways I'm seeing it. It's that when we get to the point of expressing ourselves more clearly, and gracefully, because look how graceful she looks, that will unlock the flow, and things in life will start flowing easier. But I'm also getting that there could be a blockage right now that's preventing you from doing this, and it could be both of those things. But why is Temperance in reverse? This is the I think it's called the Fairy Oracle by Doreen Virtue. Why is Temperance in reverse? It also looks like the person on this card is like sinking or a little bit stuck. If you look at the feet, the floor isn't normal right there. So, yeah. Why is Temperance in reverse? It's like the water is going in the wrong place. The water is not supposed to be by his feet. So I wonder if your energy is being diverted somewhere where it's not helpful. Like, it's not helpful that he's standing in a pool of water. Clarify Temperance in reverse and the flow card. Okay. 3 of Winter, Queen of Autumn, and 3 of Summer in reverse. This one popped out before too, but it was like, it didn't clearly come out, so I didn't take it. The 3 of Winter says, reach out to others for comfort and love. You will go stronger from this situation and sadness that will heal with time. This is also known as the 3 of Swords, which is like the heartbreak card. Yeah, it could be that sadness or grief, has been preventing you from, well, it's just been a pool of energy, right? So it's energy that is not spent elsewhere. And this card does feel very supportive to me with the bear and the grandfather figure. So maybe it's that, a spirit animal and or a support system can be helpful for you in this time to kind of get unstuck right there, get unstuck. And then the Queen of Autumn, this is the same as the Queen of Pentacles. Be practical with respect to how you proceed, the ability to make anything more beautiful, and meeting someone who can help your dreams come true. So this is also speaking of that, like your network, who is around you. And she has this very strong energy of peace. And she's done like a lot of work already. She's not waiting for a prince or princess to come like save her. So what I am feeling from this is there's a level of self-empowerment needed first. And grief, extreme grief can be a cause that can help propel someone into this, becoming this. And then, I mean, she's surrounded by abundance. So, once you get yourself, which often is with the help of others and with the support system, but also it's really about finding your inner resources and your trusting that you have the ability to get to this. It might be a slow process, but you do. Because the Three of Summer, which is the Three of Cups, which is all about friends, was actually the one in reverse. So the way I'm interpreting this is that there was a situation that was heartbreaking. That is probably what is the cause of Temperance being in reverse and your energy getting displaced. Or maybe your energy being displaced was part of the cause of the heartbreak, depending on what it is. Like maybe, this was part of what led to certain relationship troubles or whatever. And this is what can be the inspiration to become the Queen of Pentacles, to reach that state of faith in yourself and inner peace and abundance. And, your friends aren't going to save you. Your Prince Charming or princess, they're not going to save you. They'll be there. People will be there around you, particularly if you have had the ability to do some basic nurturing of your relationships. But it's not up to them. This was in reverse. So, and we do have two queens. We have the Queen of Swords now and the Queen of Pentacles. So this is a powerful reading. There's a lot of abundance and truth coming in here. So let's look more into the speak your truth. Maybe it's that once this inner peace and faith in self is cultivated, that this is a natural, speaking your truth becomes a natural extension of that. But let's see if there's anything else around that. And I'm going to use the Next World Tarot. This is a really cool deck. Please clarify the Speak Your Truth and the Queen of Swords. The Three of Wands. This came out when I was shuffling before recording as well. Foresight. So let me look at these together for a sec. She's got a key around her neck. She's like really just surrounded by so many books. I almost feel like it's baggage, honestly. And then there's like chemical experiments going on, and like there's like a mountain of stuff behind the bookcase. I feel like there's too much burden, there's too much stuff. And juxtaposed to this, where this woman is just free, so where can you maybe let go of something that in the past provided comfort, but maybe was keeping you stuck and or is now becoming an energy sink. So you can see the bookcases behind me there. There's finally space on some of the shelves. I donated 32 books, I think last month, and now there's actually some space. They're not all, crushed in there for me to see what new books come into my life, and just not as much tightness, not as much stuckness energy. Okay, is there anything else to clarify Speak Your Truth? Ten of Wands, King of Wands in reverse, Justice in reverse, and King of Swords in reverse. Wow. Okay, let's see. The Ten of Wands does indicate that the end of a trying, it's the completion of no, that's swords and this is wands. But it's the completion of a cycle where there was a lot of burden. It actually goes better with, did I put it back already? With the card, with the books behind it. Yeah, this is wands as well. And it makes sense. Look at all the stuff, the burden. And then getting the 10 in the same reading signifies to me that you are coming to a place where you are ready to complete that cycle. Like you're not going to be stuck in this anymore. You are able to move into the 10 here, which is basically means like I've gone through, I've gone all the way from the 3 to the 10. And what's interesting? There's a bookcase behind him, and it doesn't look like there's even anything on it. Maybe they're records or they're empty shelves. What do you think? But it's almost like it represents possibility, because I can't make out what it is. And he's still got like stuff cluttering up the top shelf. But I'm definitely getting a vibe of possibility with this. Like even the mirror. I don't know if you can see the mirror in the back. It's unclear what's in that mirror, the one shaped like a sun. Whereas on here, everything can be made out. So I think, it's up to you. It's up to you. What are you going to, if you, metaphorically, if you free up some space on your shelf or in your life, what's going to replace it? Is it going to be, what are you going to put there, right? If all this stuff gets cleaned up a bit. So, King of Swords in reverse, King of Wands in reverse, and Justice in reverse. Oof. I wonder if this has anything to do with the heartbreak, the Three of Winter card that came out earlier. Because we have two queens upright, and then we have two kings reverse. So, like, if the if the King of Swords and Queen of Swords came out like this, many readers would call that like a divine relationship. But I'm seeing that, maybe one person was in their truth energy and another one wasn't. And with King of Wands coming out in reverse, it makes me feel like there's some block for passion and renewal. Look at all of the flowers. Although, compared to other King of Wands cards, I never get a good vibe from this guy. He's like in his own world. I don't like how his eyes are. He's like off in a trance or something. So actually, if I follow my intuition on that and just read it intuitively with this being in reverse, it might signify that you're coming out of a period of being sort of out of it. Like, he's out of it, right? He's like sitting there like, I don't know, philosophizing or like lecturing someone or something. But there's something off with his eyes. Like, he's not looking at us. So I actually feel like this is related to the Temperance card. Like, you're ready to get out of it, to step out of the like trance. Like, this person's eyes is almost the same. Like, they seem out of it to me. So I actually take this as good news that you might be kind of getting out of a trance-like state, maybe a bit of a reality check, which would also make sense with these messages that came up. Yeah, a bit of a reality check. And Justice in reverse, I mean, we don't want that. We don't want justice in reverse, right? We want justice upright. So let's clarify that. I'm going to clarify that with, it's called the Lantern Oracle. Justice in reverse, what's that about? It says, inner life. Your inner life is a garden to be cultivated. Wow. This is beautiful. So, this card is very external focused. The way that it's pictured, it's about like justice in community, right? And so maybe with it being in reverse and clarified by this card on inner life, it's about like, it's time to focus on your life. Community and societal level justice is obviously extremely important. And how much are any of these individuals able to focus on themselves when they're out there yelling in the streets? I mean, maybe they go home and they're looking at their own lives as well, but we don't know. But I know for sure that this woman seems to be focused on her own energy and on herself and taking responsibility for herself. So let me read a little bit from that card, and then we will probably wrap this up. Oops, this is the wrong book. Here we go. 43. It's number 43, if that means anything to anyone. The more we tune into our inner light or spirit self, the more we live our outer life through it. Okay, so maybe it's also talking about how this can become more effective, because this was in reverse, after we focus on ourselves. The more transparent we become, the more our inner life is reflected back to us through the intimate connections we enjoy with others and our surroundings. So with this having come out in reverse too, it's like, maybe your life will be more fun and joyful with others around you after focusing on self. Without a healthy and solid sense of a self communing within spirit self, there is only ever smoke and mirrors without. To relate to others from this facade or false self is to forge false connections that create distance rather than closeness. Deep and lasting relationships become possible once we have established such a relationship with ourselves. The journey home to spirit self provides us with a genuinely secure foundation to build our lives upon. Coming home to the loving white light within transforms our limitations and blind spots into pathways without. The loving luminosity of our inner life shines through all density, deception, and distractions. All shadows burn into the dusty ash illusions ultimately are. This is why shadows bury instead of heal what is beautiful, but injured within them. Let me read that part again. This is why shadows bury instead of heal what is beautiful, but injured within them. Okay, so some of you might be not accepting your full self, or there might be something that happened to you that you feel is like broken or injured, and that doesn't need to be buried. That needs to actually be brought to light so that it can be accepted and healed. And that might be also part of why the Wheel of Fortune was in reverse. I mean, this guy is like struggling with himself, but it's hard for the wheel to move forward when there's that level of struggle, internal struggle. This is also why shadows need the light's loving burn to peel away and crumble them back into ash. So another reason why King of Wands might have come out in reverse is being afraid of fire. The King of Wands is a very fiery energy. So, and maybe even in my initial interpretation, like maybe you're a little afraid of the crazy that it feels like fire energy is. Because this card says, this is also why shadows need the light's loving burn to peel away and crumble them back into ash. So don't be afraid of fire energy, especially now that we're moving into spring. I know I'm planning to have a big backyard fire and burn a bunch of stuff. And I've been really starting to feel the urge to have that fire. Like, it's not just about burning stuff that's in my garage. It's about energetically needing that fire energy. And then remember the flow card that came out in the beginning. Look at all that red and orange. And the fire and the water are working together here. So with the fire energy comes the flowing waterfall, which also might help with the stuckness. Temperance is a very watery card. So this person might need a little fire up their ass to get out of that pool of grief, stuckness. Okay. Our inner life can openly hold space for all of the unaccepted thoughts, feelings, behaviors, and compulsions that we try to hide or deny. We do not realize that buried within our shadows are, in fact, glorious allies with core truths, desperate for the light to illuminate and alleviate them of their necessary message to us. To bring light to our shadows is to see them as perversions of something that had started off good and got distorted. Regardless of how threatening any shadow of ours may currently feel or may have once seemed, no shadow ever is, has been, or can be anything more or less than the goodness that got lost, overburdened, or injured along the way. The featured crone supports you in bringing loving light, acceptance, and value to the shadow parts of yourself. All they have ever tried to do is help you. However, it is actually your help that they need. Okay, so this is talking about a reciprocal energy. Let me see. Do we have that on the board yet? I mean, Temperance does speak of a flow energy, and this flow card too. Like there might be another message here about both within yourself and or with others, of thinking about that exchange of energy. So if you think about the parts within you that maybe are trying or were trying to teach you something, but like the card said, got distorted in some way, they are and were trying to help you. And this card is saying that actually now they need you, right? They are stuck in you and they need some fire energy help of releasing. They need some attention. They need some space. Some space needs to be created for those inner parts of self to be acknowledged and given space, and then the fire energy can help transform and or bring light to them in the first place. Shadows need release from the message that they are and that you do not pay attention to. Your shadows are burdened with the essential information about yourself that you ignore. They need you to acknowledge them with loving attention, compassion, and appropriate action. Therefore, this card suggests that it is an opportune time to sit down with your shadows and doing the following steps with each one. Listen to them with compassion. Honor them with a new and affirmative meaning and significance in your life. Integrate them healthily by freeing them from the dark. Trust, love, acknowledge, and empathize with each shadow as you shine light upon it to transform it back into healthy alignment with the purity of your spirit self. Reach out for support and help from an appropriate professional, healer, or mentor to guide you through the process if you need to. So that comes back to reach out to others for comfort and love. It is time to make compassionate self-exploration a priority. A journey into the stillness and silence of your inner light-filled garden is optimal. To establish an intimate communion with yourself, you may feel the need to embrace a period of solitude. The featured crone supports you in whatever form the journey of coming home to yourself takes and requires for you. Until this inner process is complete, true intimacy with another is unlikely and ultimately unsustainable, for it first needs to be established within. Okay, that's exactly the message at the beginning of the reading, right? It's like she needs to become her first before this. And having this might support her becoming this, but this is not going to be as joyful until she becomes her. And there's no Prince Charming coming. And then there's one last message, the crone's message. Tend to your garden first. The shadows you illuminate will reveal all the good that they had mistakenly buried with fourfold radiance, strength, and blessings. Fourfold. Wow. Okay. That's awesome. Maybe something with the number 4. Let's pull one herb/plant tree card from the Maya Toll Herbiary book, and then we will end. One final message for this reading, please. I just saw the nettle card, which is appropriate given springtime. Oh, this one popped out to the side, and this also came out when I was pre-shuffling. So we are one. It reminds me of this. So please do the inner work. Please do the inner work so that the collective network of us all is stronger. And honestly, it sounds mean, but so that you don't bring everybody else down with you. You know, if the collective is only as strong as its weakest member, then we all have even more responsibility than just for our own well-being to get our shit together. You know, so let's own and give kindness to the parts of us that we might currently feel ashamed of, or somebody told us to be ashamed of, or a time of life where we were not supported, and so an emotion and an experience that we were having got stored in our bodies and stuck there. And there are lots of people that can support us, from therapists to energy workers to dance teachers to hairdressers to friends to, I mean, it's just endless, you know? And so even though Prince Charming isn't coming to save you, there are, even in our hardest times, there are supportive energies around us. And if you're annoyed with people, you know, look into spirit animals. Look into green allies, plant allies. Plant allies is something that has really helped me a lot. Marshmallow, aspen. Marshmallow is a plant, even though we all know it as a white fluffy thing. Marshmallow is a really, really sweet plant. I'm not even talking sweet, sugary. I'm talking, it's a very gentle grandmother energy. Actually, it goes very well with this card. You know, if you're struggling, maybe Google image the marshmallow plant and Google marshmallow spirit plant energies or something like that. I know I haven't posted about it yet, but I've gotten a very strong grandmother energy from being around marshmallow. So, and if your actual grandmother has passed, I mean, this might also be an invitation to do some work with your ancestors and praying to grandmothers, either your grandmothers or grandmothers even farther back in your ancestral lineage that you never met, to support you at this time. So I hope that some part of this was helpful to you in some way, and feel free to comment, like, I would say subscribe, but I don't know how often I will be doing readings, but go for it if you are called. And again, I hope that there was something in here, small or large, that is supportive for you. Thanks.